Hello Aquarius, it's Lisa from Soul Searcher Tarot, and I'm here to do September's 2020 general reading. It's only general, so it's not going to resonate with everybody, but take what does, leave what doesn't. If you do enjoy the reading, if you can give me a thumbs up, a like, a share, and maybe write a comment if you'd, I'd like to hear from you, if you want to write me a comment. Alright, if you're first time coming out to see me, thank you so much. I'm glad you could be here, and maybe I'll get to see you again, okay? I'll appreciate it. And if you have been here before, that really does mean a lot. Okay, hold on a second for me. I'm going to do 9 cards, then I'm going to clarify with another deck, and at the end I'm going to pull an oracle card, just for some advice from Spirit, basically to keep our vibrations high, our energies positive, alright? So let's get started. We have the Emperor, the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Swords, okay, the Page of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the 5 of Cups. Alright, we will see how this comes out, and I'll clarify, okay? And let me just apologize ahead of time because there's a lot of construction going on across the street. My dogs are losing their heads. So if you start hearing barking, I'm sorry. Anyway. You may have some hard decisions coming up. Possibly in regards to new ideas that you have coming out that are going to require communication. Using your mind for logic. New starts, definitely, in communication. Turned out to be the Emperor. Okay, now this guy makes the hard decisions. He gives you the energy and the will to make the hard decisions. And the Ace of Swords, this is like a whole new beginning, I said, in communication, logistics, using your mind for a lot of things. And here they come again. Alright, and the Queen of Swords. Now again, she's very logical, very smart, she's strong. She's been through a lot. So if this is a person that's in your environment, she's been through it. So she's got the maturity of having a lot of thick skin, some toughness involved with her. She doesn't have like the heart on her sleeve or anything like that. You wouldn't know her feelings. She's not going to share them with you unless you're like in her closest circle. So if this is somebody that you're around a lot, if you are the closest of people, you'll be aware. But if not, you might just be like a coworker, acquaintance. So you don't know her inner feelings. You don't know her deepest thoughts. She keeps that to herself, okay? But she also has that big sword she carries around, and she's like, she will cut through any bull that comes towards her. She doesn't stand for it very much at all. So you might be working with somebody like her, maybe a manager, maybe a supervisor. It could be a peer. This could be your energy, though. Whether male or female, it doesn't matter. It could be Pisces, not Pisces, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But it could actually be any other sign, but they may have a lot of air sign in their chart. And then we have the Page of Cups. Now this is like a new message or new beginning with feelings and emotions, and being open towards a new emotional endeavor. Possibly you're waiting for a message in regard to something. Or it could be just basically you're feeling a lot of emotions coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is This is like improvements in your situation, whatever the situation might be. Okay, it could be work, it could be a relationship, it could be any kind of situation. But this is definitely an improvement. All right. Now the Eight of Wands, this is making swift, sudden movements. You're not sitting back and like just seeing what happens. You're definitely going to try to pull forward and make things happen, not to wait for them to happen. And I have the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Five of Cups. Now the Knight of Pentacles, he's like the slowest knight in the tarot. He's the sturdiest, and he's the most stable. But his approach is slow. So if he's bringing you any kind of abundance, any kind of material gain, anything that's going to cause things to happen for you, it's going to be a long process. They're not that quick. It's just, they're slow but stable. Now the Hermit, that you might have to take a minute to yourself and go, all right, well, let me just see how to feel about this. How do I think about this? What do I want to feel about it? And you might have to shine light on something. So especially if you're looking at this Knight of Pentacles as to being the trigger at what's going to cause things to come into you, things of gain to be able to come into you, but you're going within for a little bit just to see how you feel about it, how you actually feel about this situation. Because it's kind of like shining a light right on the Knight of Pentacles right next to it. I mean, it could be looking into something else, but that seems pretty relevant. But it could be a lot of other things, honestly. And then we got the Five of Cups. This always feels like to me what could have been or what should have been. Because you have these three turned over cups. With all these feelings and emotions falling out of it when you see the water pouring. Yeah. With the water falling out. And then you have the two cups behind it. So all's not lost. You didn't lose everything. But there is a certain amount of loss that you might feel sad because you've lost something. But it's also kind of, to me, it's like almost like a sign of maturity. When we grow up and we become adults, things change. And, you know, the cups that you felt very strongly about, or the emotions or the feelings that you felt very strongly about back then, don't actually suit you now. So it's a matter of the cups that are behind you are probably the ones that you will continue to carry on through your life, through your next achievements. And maybe you'll possibly fill them up with your own feelings towards them, or towards life events. And continue growing, maybe even accrue more cups as you go. But right now, these ones, I feel like they are not as substantial as they once were. So just don't forget about those ones behind you. You still can grow with feelings and emotions. And you just got to not forget about them, okay? All right, let's see if we could clarify some stuff. Okay, what's the Emperor here for Aquarius in September 2020? Why is the Emperor here for Aquarius September 2020? What can you tell me about the Emperor for Aquarius 2020? September. Huh, Justice and the World, wow. All right, so you have, right out of the gate, basically you got three major arcana. And that's like, it's not the day-to-day living, but it's the stronger input from the universe, things that you need to pay more attention to. Like we have the Justice, and Justice is a sign of Libra also. But this is all about balance and being even and having things be fair. And with that Emperor there, I feel like you are looking to make the hard decisions based on your circumstances, but you want them to be fair. You want them to be even. You don't want to, you're not trying to like take what you can and leave whatever else is left. No, I think you want to make sure that you're not making decisions that's going to hurt somebody else, but you get all the gain. Like, I don't think that's not your style. Okay? And that's what it feels like anyway. And then we have the World coming up, and this is like stability and achievement and having a perfect balance, which actually goes along with the Justice very well, because they're still looking for a balance, a perfect balance where you're not having unevenness involved. So that's what I feel like the decisions are made out of. The decisions are what is important based on what it is you're trying to do. All right, let's see. Ace of Swords. All right, it's a new beginning. It can possibly consider it a new win. And maybe it also has something to do with the decisions. And with the Ace of Swords, sometimes it can be like a double-edged sword, because it cuts from both sides. You know, you want to make sure you're keeping it and, you know, not using it for the negative, basically. The Eight of Coins, that's hard work. Anything else for the Ace of Swords? Anything else for the Ace of Swords? Ace of Swords, sorry. And Seven of Cups. So you're going to do hard work. You're putting in a lot of effort to make things. And again, there's people doing yard work now, cutting down trees, and I am very sorry. And if I shut all the windows, I will die. I will die of heat involvement because I don't have an air conditioner up here. But anyway, let's see. All right, you'd have a lot of options. All right, you're going to be meticulous. You're going to do something that you have to find out all. You want to work hard and be meticulous in whatever it is that you're going to be trying out. You might be taking training for something, might do apprenticeship. Maybe you're going back to school and you're trying to find something else out. You want to keep the options open, but you want to make sure you're picking the right one, because some options can look like illusions, so you don't want to send yourself down the wrong path. I personally have done that, and I have, you know, and I was like, oh, I could do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this one, and then like 3 months later, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't know why, for whatever happens, you just don't, you know, it doesn't fall through. So I think you want to make sure that you're being really, really meticulous about the options. So if you're going to go back to school for something, then you're going to, you know, try to get some training on something. You want to make sure you're right about it, which is probably where the Emperor comes in, making the hard decisions for you. But then also, with the Justice, you're trying to be, you know, like, make sure it's even, make sure it's fair, and make sure there's a lot of balance in it. And because, yeah, with the World, you're having, like, you want the perfect balance. You want the stability of whatever this can bring you. All right, and now the Queen of Swords. She's one of my favorites. This could be, yeah, I'm sorry, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Could be anybody else, though. It doesn't have to be male or female. I described her a little bit to you before, but just she's been through it. She's tough. She's not going to let you in unless you're really close. I feel like she cuts out the bull. Like, she got that big old sword too, and she's like, all right, yeah, don't think you're going to con me, because it's not going to happen. And what's here for, excuse me, the Queen of Swords? Can you tell me about the Queen of Swords? All right, you got the Knight of Staffs. Excuse me. And the Nine of Swords. All right. The Knight of Staff. If this is somebody in your environment, this person, male or female, is very charismatic. They're very impulsive. They don't sit around. They're like, all right, let's get things moving. Let's make it happen. They don't do it as well as the King would, because they're not as mature yet. But this could still be an older person, but just has that young energy. And, you know, they want to do things. They want to succeed. They want to make sure things go right. But they don't have the full maturity of the king that would have done it without having like a rebound or having to, you know, question what they're doing. But they're very impulsive also, so they could be very impulsive. And right after that we have the Nine of Swords, all right? And with the Nine of Swords, I feel like maybe you are worried about the decisions you're going to make regard to these options and this like education or learning that you're going to be doing. And also because if you're feeling like the energy of the Queen of Swords, you are going to be maybe a little worried about when the Knight of Staffs comes in, which is the Knight of Wands. When he comes in, because like I said, he wants to do things right. He wants to do things that can make, you know, things happen, make who all involved happy, make it successful. But maybe it's possibly you're worried about how the outcome could come around. That's what it feels like. The outcome. You're worried about that outcome. All right, let's see the Page of Cups. Why is the Page of Cups here for Aquarius, September 2020? Why is the Page of Cups here for Aquarius, September 2020? Tell me about the Page of Cups for September 2020. All right, we got the Hierophant. Nice. Anything else for the Page of Cups? Oh, that's not. All right. The Hierophant, being who he is all about tradition, guidance, where you would seek counsel. If you think about institutions, churches, colleges, anything big, government type things. Okay. All right. Oops. And I feel like maybe if this is possibly the message that you're waiting for, like are you waiting for a message from any one of those institutions? Are you waiting from anything from maybe, if you're waiting for any kind of word from, like I said, a college, some kind of institution, some kind of trade school, a placement that you're trying to get for this apprenticeship. Now, it could actually be weddings also. If you're in a relationship, if you're looking into possibly, you know, like you were looking for to get your venue, or you're looking to see what kind of entertainment you could have, like that kind of thing. But it also feels more like school, or I want to keep thinking government, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Just maybe somebody that you have been keeping, you know, you've been talking to in regards to certain situations. Or you might just be looking for some kind of guidance. All right, is there anything else for the Hierophant and the Page of Cups? Yeah, that's the other thing, is Page of Cups and the Hierophant. It could be something about a wedding, about love and such. And you got the Three of Staffs here too. I just felt like it needed something more. And this is about looking towards the future. All right, like those two staffs in the back, they're like kind of past issues. You've dealt with them already, but the red one up front, I feel like that one's going forward. So you're looking for something to come in, like your ship's coming in. Okay, what about the Wheel of Fortune? What can you tell me about the Wheel of Fortune? Why is that here for Aquarius in September 2020? Okay, the Two of Cups. The Four of Cups. Interesting. Well, the Wheel of Fortune being like a karmic shift towards improvements. I feel like you're forming a bond with somebody. You want to be happy. You plan on being happy. So is that something to do with a wedding? If this Two of Cups is a bond, that is an improvement. But then you also have the Four of Cups here, and this guy might be like, all right, he's feeling a little bit disappointed, maybe a little bored, thinking he should have got more than he did. You know, like here it is, he's got 4 cups offered to him. I'm sorry, 3 cups offered, but he wanted the 4th kind of feeling. So maybe the relationship that you were building with this person, you know, whether it was romantic or platonic, you haven't seen as much from it as you expected. So whatever this relationship is not as gone as far as you wanted it to. Whether that be business, maybe marriage, some kind of, I don't even know. Just something that you're involved in. Well, business or marriage, I really can't think of anything else. But it just hasn't gone as far as you wanted it to. I mean, it could be friendship, but, you know, friendship's 2 ways. Let's see, what about this 8 of Wands? Does that has anything to do with what you're thinking about doing now? Because you're a little disappointed in the relationship? What's the 8 of Wands here for? Aquarius, September 2020. Ah, the Magician. What else is here for the 8 of Wands? What else can you tell me about the 8 of Wands? No. And the 8 of Cups. All right. Well, the Magician, the Magician is all about self-awareness and being resourceful. So he is offering you a path to take, but you have to decide which one it's going to be and what you'll be responsible for what you do with it, which always goes back to those options that you had and to what you feel like you need to do because you're disappointed in the situation right now or you're bored with it. Then you have the 8 of Cups, and this is like moving away from something you work towards or with, and you feel like you don't need it anymore. You want to keep going. Okay, there's a Magician dude. So, if he's giving you the resourcefulness and self-awareness to make this move, or just to just walk away, what are you walking away from? Are you walking away from this 2 of Cups energy of this relationship? Or are you walking away from this idea of enhancing your training? Whatever it is, you put a lot of work into it. So you're feeling like it's not serving you anymore, which is like the 8 of Coins, maybe? Like that, you're comparing that with the 8 of Coins? Okay. Well, if it's you, you'll know it. I mean, you'll know what you're thinking about walking away from. Let's see about the Knight of Pentacles. Please tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Oops. Oh, the 10 of Staffs. Anything else? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Why is the Knight of Pentacles? Oopsie. Okay, the 4 of Swords. Well, you're definitely carrying some kind of burden. And I feel like you need to rest. It's not like you chose to rest and that's causing a burden. I feel like you're carrying this burden and it's causing you to have to rest. And, you know, maybe more, not so in the physical, but like mentally. You need to like step back and say, all right, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what I should be walking away from. Like, I know I should be, something's not serving me, but I'm not sure what it is. Because Aquarius, I'll be honest with you, this is kind of convoluted. I mean, I'm an Aquarius. And I'm trying to look at it going, okay, what the heck? So definitely, I think you're getting like, you're burdened by not sure what your next move is. So maybe, you're waiting for the material gains coming from this Knight of Pentacles. But maybe you've been waiting for a very long time. Maybe you've been trying it and it hasn't worked. So you're not sure what to try next, and you're not sure what to shove away. But you know that there's things causing you stress in regards to it. And now you're feeling overburdened with it. So you're taking that rest, and then, like I said, you have the Hermit over here, and here going into looking into something. So now the light's being shined right on these burdens, and trying to figure out what would be your best move. See, what about the Hermit? What can you tell me about the Hermit for Aquarius, September 2020? What can you tell me about the Hermit, September 2020 for Aquarius? Hermit, September 2020, Aquarius. Oh. All right, we got the Moon, the Three of Cups, and the Page of Staffs. Well, the Moon is this could be a sign of Pisces, but this is kind of, something's not clear. You can't see it as well as you'd like to. Maybe there's some mystery to it. And you're needing to use your intuition a lot. So possibly whatever you're waiting for, or whatever you were seeking the Hierophant for, the council for. You just don't know. Maybe the answer's not coming as clear as you were hoping it would, in the speed that you were hoping it would. Then you have the Three of Cups and the Page of Staffs. So maybe you need to just gather around people, be with your friends, hang out in your community, wherever you feel this happiness, wherever you feel like rejuvenated. All right? So instead of maybe thinking so hard on what's not coming out, or what didn't give you what you wanted, or didn't come to fruition, just kind of put yourself somewhere else. Like, don't think about it so much, and just enjoy what's here. Because with this Page of Staff, I mean, still, it's a young energy of charisma. It's young energy of action. Like, you want to get going. You want to do some things. So maybe the best idea for you would be do that and worry about that later. Like, don't think about that too much. And that leads us to the Five of Cups. And maybe that's what the situation is. This Five of Cups is something that, yeah, you feel like you lost something. You put a lot of effort and work and emotion into these things. Maybe it wasn't, growing up in, the past. Not so much the past, but the emotions of your younger years that aren't really that a big deal anymore. Maybe it was something a little more recent. And maybe it was a little bit more involved. Not just, the relationship of 25 years ago, or your school chums, or whatever had gone on And I don't know why at first it felt like the past. But now, maybe it was something that you were looking forward to now, but just isn't happening. That you had carried it around and wanted it for so much, or so long. But you have to just like not be worried about those 3 cups that tipped over. And just remember, you still have something behind you. You need to look behind you and say, okay, well, this didn't work out. What can I make with these 2? That type of feeling. What else can you tell me about the 5 of Cups? Can you tell me about the 5 of Cups? 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups for Aquarius. Can you tell me about the 5 of Cups for Aquarius? Wow. Wow, okay. Alright, we got Judgment and Wheel of Fortune. That's a Wheel of Fortune twice. That's pretty awesome, actually. Because it's still an improvement. Things are still getting better. Possibly just needs to be a little bit more patient. Maybe have a lower expectation of what you were thinking about should happen. But then we got, I love it when Justice and Judgment come up at the same time. I don't know why. It just seems like they fit. But with Judgment, this could actually be something involved in the courts. Maybe you were waiting for something. Oh, maybe you're waiting for something that had to do with the courts. Because when I think about the Hierophant, I think about, like industrial, institutionals. So think of courts or, state-run things. And always looking forward. And with the burden of maybe it was just taking so long and you were feeling disappointed in something. And then you're choosing to walk away from something. With the Moon, just feeling like it's not clear enough and you're not sure about what goes on. With the Judgment, I mean, this could definitely be something in regards to that with the courts and such. So maybe even though you have to accept that you've lost those cups, but it could be time, it could be effort, it could be emotions towards it. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's still an achievement. Something's coming through. Something is being a better fortune. Let me see if I can go up one more, just because I hate it when I have like... Yeah, you ever do diagramming sentences in English back in middle school? And it was like, I always hated that. But I feel like I'm leaving a hanging syllable here. Right? It was a hanging past participle or something like that. I hate that. But let me see if there's anything else for Aquarius. Aquarius, September 2020, on the 5 of Cups. Aquarius, September 2020, on the 5 of Cups. Whoa, hello. Well, they don't count. 5 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Anything else for the 5 of Cups? Spirit, anything else for the 5 of Cups? Anything else? 5 of Cups. Oh, my dog's trying to get in. Strength. All right. Well, this is pretty much all right. It's persistence, willpower, and you're gonna use like your mental strength, your emotional strength. Ugh, sorry. To be able to wait this out, because something's coming. Your fortune's going to come in. Your wheel of fortune's turning. I feel like your karmic debt has been paid. That's a whole other conversation, and there is a judgment coming in. So, it is also, new awareness. You have clarity on a situation, but this feels like you're waiting for something. You've been waiting for something. And you just need strength around that. All right? All right. I'm going to pull an oracle card, and it'll be all done. Thank you so much if you hung out this long. I know it seemed like a little longer than usual, but honestly, it was a little, and I guess because I'm Aquarius, I tend to want to babble a little bit more about it because I'm like, oh. But, all right, hold on a second. Let's see what we got. What else we got for Aquarius? Oops. What can I tell them from the universe? Hold on. Oh. Health and indecision. Well, the health is, I will honor the physical vessel and enshrine my soul. Well, that's always a good advice either way. Just take care of yourself. Make sure you're putting yourself first when it comes to your health and personal decisions that you make that involve you. And then indecision. I use my intuition in all my aspects of life. Well, there you go. That actually makes a lot of sense too with this. Because not knowing exactly what goes on, and you need to use your intuition, and you have to go with your gut feeling, and you don't want to just like jump and, you know, be very, well, I've lost that word, but you know, almost just like pow kind of decisions, because I know I do it myself. I don't think before I move, and then I end up regretting it later. But I mean, nothing serious, but yeah, like I was talking about the things I was going to do, the classes I was going to take, and all this good stuff, and then I'd lose like a couple $100, and I'm like, oh, didn't really want to do that. But anyway, all right, so we got indecision and health to think about as far as, you know, going forward. You want to take care of yourself and go with your gut, but keep yourself in mind before you go making any decisions. You are important. Your health and your safety and your life is important. So you need to make sure, you know, you're not always putting yourself second to friends, family. And I know our children, it's hard, but sometimes you got to go first. But anyway. And all right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you want to give me a thumbs up, a share, subscribe, write me a comment. I'd love to hear how it goes for everybody. And if you do, when you do subscribe, hit the little dingy button, because I'm going to be pasting something in the middle of the month, maybe just like a energy reading for, I was thinking about doing in the elements. And then if not, I will see you, I'm not really saying words, I will be seeing you for October, okay? I hope you guys enjoy your September, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.